next section that we'll be visiting today with information from people from all over this nation is parental alienation. And so the first person that I'm going to bring up is Marianne. Is she still here? I hope. Oh yeah, she is. Okay, Marianne Malky, and she's going to be talking to you about parental alienation and what happens. Ms. Malky has made appearances on nationally televised shows including Geraldo Rivera, Court TV, and Johnny Cochran. And Ms. Malky's story was featured on Unsolved Mysteries. And so without further ado, Marianne.
Our organization is an organization that searches for parentally abducted children and education. I'm speaking on behalf of the parents and children who have been victimized by parental abduction and parental alienation and the justice system, and who have been treated like criminals. I am the mother of a parentally abducted son. My son, David Shippenberg, was abducted by my ex-husband in 1974. His name is Stephen Shippenberg. He abducted my son when I was in the hospital. He called me on the phone and told me, "I'm going to take your son and you're never going to see him again." I was living in New Jersey and he was living in New York. Although I searched for my son David every day and hired 16 private investigators, it took me 31 years to locate him. My search started in Manhattan to Queens, all over Long Island, and ended up in Oyster Bay, at Oyster Bay High School. I went to the school to try to get information about my son. They refused to give me any information. They said I was not entitled to know if he was in the school or not. I said, "Can I see the yearbook?" They said, "The yearbook's missing." Then in a little while, they found the yearbook. And I said, "Well, can I see it?" They said, "Well, here's where your son's picture should be, but it's not here." I said, "Well, how can that be?" And they said, "Because if a parent requests that your child's picture not be put in the yearbook or filmed, they have to honor that request." The reason the parents do that is through investigations you can locate parentally abducted children through the school system. So I was happy when Larry Holland told me about the system that he had set up, because they even wanted to sue me. My ex-husband was arrested twice, once in New Jersey, once from New York to New Jersey, and when it came before the judge, he brought his attorney, and the attorney said, "Case dismissed," without him telling me where my son was. We both were arrested in New York. When I went to his apartment to find out where my son was, I found his apartment at 166 East 34th Street. And I went there and I tried to reason with my ex-husband to tell me where my son was, but it turned into a fist fight. Someone called the police. The police came, they put us in handcuffs. They put us in the squad car. They said, "If you move, we'll shoot you." They brought us down to the Tombs in New York jail. It came before the judge. And the judge said, "What is this about?" I said, "He abducted my son. I have custody of him, and I want to know where he is." He brought his lawyer again, and the New York judge let him go without telling me where my son was. Okay. Wow. It took me until December 1st, 2005 to locate my son, because my son's name was not David Schippenberg anymore. It was David Sanders, along with my ex-husband, who changed his name and his wife's name to Sanders. I finally located my son in Alexandria, Virginia. And that's only because I had my ex-husband's picture on my website, voiceforthechildren.com, with a wanted sign under it. And someone called me from Washington and said, "I think I saw your ex-husband, but that's not his name." So that is his name now, Sanders. My son hates me and is totally alienated from me. Parental abduction is the taking and concealing of a child without the permission of the child or the other parent. Parents who abduct children are not normal. They are mentally ill. They tell the children that the other parent doesn't want them, doesn't love them, are in mental institution or dead. Their children are forced to move from location to location, from school to school. Some run away. And most live with a step-parent that treats them badly because they don't want them. Some children are homeschooled. I know a lot of you think homeschooling is good. Well, that's another way to hide a parentally abducted child. So a lot of people homeschool the child to hide them. And sometimes they're physically abused and sometimes they're sexually abused. Some are given away, like my son, who was given up to another person named Kaplan. And he was given away. Some end up in foster care. Some do not have access to dental or medical care. And some are murdered. But most of all, they are stripped of their identity and given a false name. The left-behind parents' life is ruined. When they reach out for help from the police, they are told to hire an attorney. It's a civil matter. There's only one detective that I know, Detective Tom Waitley from Delray Beach, that really does parental abductions. The police do not have the time, the resources, or the desire to search for parentally abducted children. We don't have Amber Alerts unless the child is about to be murdered. We don't have search parties. We don't have people giving out flyers. The only flyer you'll get is from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, unless a nonprofit puts it out for you. And then that's not really much good because it's a false name anyway. So the left-behind parent, life is ruined. They have to find the time and the resources to locate their own child or hire a private investigator. And because of the emotional distress, many parents become mentally ill, physically ill, or try to commit suicide, and some succeed.